Hey there, this is Bridgit Danner with Women's Wellness Collaborative, and my guest today is Evan Brand with Not Just Paleo, who's a really awesome guy with great resources, including a podcast, a blog, and his own YouTube videos. So he's going to be on my podcast later today talking about depression, stress, nature, the brain. And I asked if he would come on and do a little show and tell about something that he's used and learned about that not most of us know about, and that's a heart rate variability monitor. So take it away, Evan.
Hello, Bridget. Hello, audience. Well, so basically, this heart rate monitor it was a gift. It was something somebody gave me because they wanted me to check out their heart rate variability app. So if you're looking on screen here, you'll see it's just a tiny little piece of plastic, essentially, with the monitor inside with a small little battery, and then there's a strap that comes with it, and that is what you wrap around your chest, right under your rib cage, right there at the sternum, basically under the nipples. You wrap it all the way around, you tie it on, and that links up via Bluetooth to your smartphone. And so what that does is that tracks your heart rate variability, which is the spacing in between your heartbeats. So researchers and cardiologists and all these people used to think that a steady heartbeat, boom, 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 is healthy, and that's actually not. You want a high variability in your heart rate. So you want it boom, 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 boom. You want to be able to go from slow to fast, meaning that you're adjusting to your environment. So if you start hiking, you want your heart to be able to keep up with that, right? You don't want the same lub dub, lub dub, lub dub with no change, depending on what you're doing physically. So this heart rate variability monitor will measure that. And more importantly, what that does is that tells you the health of your nervous system. So you have your autonomic nervous system, which has two branches. You have your parasympathetic, your rest and digest mode, which we're supposed to be in about 99% of the time. And then you have your sympathetic mode, where you're supposed to be in 1% of the time when you're getting chased by a bear, and you're either going to kill it or you're going to get killed. And what this measures is what's called your parasympathetic tone. So this is going to show whether you've been burning the candle at both ends, whether you've been pushing yourself too hard with your workouts, whether you're overtraining, whether you have some adrenal stress going on. You can sort of clue in, if you know what you're doing, and measure all of that just based on that HRV score. And how I use it is I'll like to just take a measurement. I'll pull up the app and I'll look at the health of my nervous system before I go to the gym. And if I have a relatively high score, that means that my nervous system's pretty healthy. And if I've been working too hard or I've hiked 10 miles and then I put it on, I'm going to show a little bit lower HRV score, meaning that I need to rest and chill out for a little bit before I go hit the gym again. There's many, many uses for it, but that's what I use it for.
Okay, so let's say we see that we don't have a great heart rate variability if we try this thing out. Like how do we change that? How long does it take to change that and see that improve?
Great question. So one thing is rest. Simple. So if you're overtraining, just sit on the couch and read a book. You know, that's one thing. Obviously, I'm a bigger fan of more active resting. So if you are doing some CrossFit or something, it'd be a good idea for you to incorporate some walking in, 10 or 15-minute walk, preferably outdoors without sunglasses on, to get that bright light, which is going to help the circadian rhythm. Other things you can do, good supplements are going to be helpful. So B vitamins tend to get burned up like jet fuel during times of stress, and your kidneys tend to dump magnesium. So getting in B vitamins, magnesium, your minerals, your trace minerals, stabilizing your blood sugar, anything that is a stress to the body, you want to minimize that. So if you're somebody who watches war movies and you listen to heavy metal music all the time and you just hate your life and hate the world, you need to change your Pandora station to something a little bit more enjoyable musically that will help you to rest. If you're causing all of these inputs to stress out your nervous system, you're going to perform like crap. You're going to hit plateaus in your training. You're not going to sleep well, and your energy is going to be suboptimal.
Okay, so you're talking about exercise stress, nutritional stress, scary movie type stress, which I can get. Sometimes my husband and I will get into a show and I'm like, I can't watch this at night anymore. It's like messing up my sleep. But how about just like worrying and overthinking? Like, what can we do if we think, well, that's probably the source of stress, or does that play in?
Oh, absolutely. It plays in. Yeah. I mean, I had a client yesterday or the day before. Her nutrition's perfect. I mean, 100% perfect. Her fitness routine is pretty good, but she hates her job. And I asked her on a scale of 1 to 10, and she said 10. That's massive. We can't get great benefits if that's what the case is with her job situation. So what do you do about emotional situation? Well, you have a couple things. One is you reframe how you feel about it, right? They call it concept shifting. Just change how you perceive that stress, because things can happen to you, but if you respond poorly, well, you're going to have poor results. But if you realize, oh, I just got rear-ended, oh, that sucks, and you don't really attach too much emotion to it, you're going to be better off. Number two, you're just going to have to change the situation. If you hate the job, then start searching, or just remove yourself from the situation. If you're around a bunch of negative people, leave the situation. If you're in a hostile situation and you hear people arguing, just get away from it if you can and separate yourself. And generally, those three things will help with the emotional aspect. Fourth and final recommendation, emotional freedom technique, tapping. Tap on the various acupressure meridians. I know you're an acupuncturist yourself, so you know about these different energy centers in the body. That's something I use all the time.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Evan. And you all just got a little taste of Evan Brand's awesomeness. So if you want some more, you can come on the podcast episode. Again, we're going to be talking about depression and how it affects your brain, nature and how it affects your brain, and more about Evan's kind of personal journey with this. So that is at Women's Wellness Radio. And Evan, just share the name of your podcast.
Not Just Paleo, or just Google search Evan Brand. You'll find it.
Cool. Well, thanks, Evan. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. See ya.